Piastri to Williams, Gasly to McLaren, Verstappen to Ferrari. Silly season is well and truly here. I may have made up one of those last three, but when silly season arrives, lads, nothing is too outrageous. And so today here at Crash, we're going to be going through every team and driver on the grid and have a little speculation on what their situations may be in 2023 and beyond. Let's get into it. Red Bull are currently the team to beat in 2022 and have both their drivers locked in for next season, with Perez signing until the end of 2024 and Verstappen being committed to the team for another 6 years, as a lucrative £40 million contract has him locked in until 2026. Now, I know contracts don't mean all too much at Red Bull given their history of driver moves, but unless something major goes wrong or changes, I can't see this lineup changing for at least another year or so, as Max and Sergio make such a great team. At Ferrari, both Charles and Carlos are signed until the end of 2024, and it's pretty safe to say Leclerc isn't going anywhere. He's Ferrari's golden boy, he seems to love the team, they obviously love him, need I say any more? Things are a bit more complex for Sainz though, as his shaky form thus far this season has really hampered his reputation a bit, as he now comfortably sits as the second driver. I think come 2024 or earlier, if his form somehow keeps getting worse, Ferrari may try and find some young talent elsewhere to replace him. Like Schumacher, if he decides to stop being absolute
What's your profanity?
At Mercedes, they have both their drivers locked down for at least another season, with Lewis going until the end of next year and George just having a multi-year deal which ends at an unknown date. But it's almost certain to assume that given his form at the minute, George will always have a place in the team in the near or distant future. As for Lewis though, well, I think Lewis is there until he retires. When that will be, no one knows. I'm thinking maybe the end of next season. I did wonder that maybe given the poor car this year, he'd want to leave ASAP, but I think he wants to try and have a bit more success and end his career on a high, and not do a Schumacher or Vettel and finish his career in a midfield team. Speaking of Vettel though, Aston Martin. I know Seb hasn't retired yet, but it's got to be a matter of time, right? He's had a load of success in his career and he's still obviously driving great to this day, but I just get the feeling that his days are numbered in F1. He is younger than Lewis, but still he just seems older, if that makes sense. That being said, he won't get sacked though. Seb will call it a day on his own career when he's ready. I just think that might be this season or potentially even the next season, which will make me very, very sad, because everyone loves Seb. As for Lance, the bloke's dad owns the team, so his contract extends until he's old enough to get a bus pass. Alpine. Speaking of bus passes, F1's current old man Fernando Alonso still isn't signed beyond the end of this year, yet he has made it very clear that he wants to stay in F1 for 2 or 3 more years because I just feel better than the others. There you go, classic Alonso. Meanwhile, Ocon is signed until the end of 24 for the team, meaning that Alonso is the one that controls the destiny for F2 world champion Oscar Piastri, who is praying at night that the old man retires so he gets a spot in Formula 1. But Alonso wants to race, and I mean, Alpine aren't going to turn down a 2-time world champion that's still performing at a top level, are they? No. In the meantime though, there are rumours that Piastri may find a spot elsewhere on the grid, like Williams. Neither drivers are signed for next year, but with Red Bull now locked off and him performing well, we can assume that Albon will probably be staying. Yet as for Latifi, I don't need to say it, we all know the situation with Latifi, he's dog water. So there's been a ton of rumours that Piastri will replace him going into the 2023 season, with team principal Jos Capito even admitting that the Aussie is ready to go into Formula 1, and is one on the list for sure for any team seeking a driver. However, he also said, "We have a driver lineup for this year. We don't have any other plans, both have a contract for this season and that's what our plan is, to fulfill that." So who knows, but I mean, I think he's just being polite. Latifi, you're on the way out, lad. But who knows, Williams might surprise us and keep the Canadian for another season. If they do, they better be getting their money's worth, I swear to God. McLaren now, and I'm not going to bore you with the same speech on Daniel Ricciardo that everyone, including us, has been giving you this past month or so, about how he needs to step up and that he's at risk and that Zach Brown said his contract could be ended early. It's not going to happen. He's signed until the end of next year, only Daniel can end the contract early, and he's just not going to do that, is he? So let's all just shut up and leave Ricciardo alone. He's got at least another season at McLaren. As for Lando, he's signed until the end of 2025 in a similar situation to Leclerc. As the team is built around him, they all love him. He seems to love it there as well. Although I do think he maybe needs to look elsewhere once this contract ends to try and fight for titles. That's if, of course, McLaren don't fight for titles themselves, which I mean, maybe they will do, but I can't see it happening. I think maybe he goes to Merc once Lewis leaves. At AlphaTauri, neither are signed for next season, but we can assume that Yuki probably is staying, given the fact he's been doing pretty good this year. And even after all the speculation on Gasly, France Toss told us all to pipe down last weekend, confirming that he's 100% staying at the team for 2023. Job done. Alfa Romeo, Bottas is signed on a multi-year deal similar to George, so he's staying. And then I reckon Zhou Guanyu may stay for another year as well. I know he's a paid driver and we really won't expect him to do well, but I like him and I think he's been performing quite decently as well. The only way I can really see him getting the boot is if he drops off massively or Porsche wins Formula 2. But who knows? I'm not an expert, am I? Last but not least, Haas. K-Mag, like Bottas, has signed on a multi-year deal and generally has been performing pretty well, so no hassle there. But Schumacher, on the other hand, not so much. With no contract signed beyond this season, the pressure is really on for him now. He's had a load of crashes, bottled it when it matters, and just doesn't seem happy right now. But fortunately, since his last name is Schumacher, he has got through most of this fairly unscathed. Yet, as of late, even die-hard fans are questioning him now, as Gunther's been openly frustrated about Schumacher's troubles. But that's not saying much, really, because I mean, when's Gunther not frustrated? He's definitely at risk, but luckily for him, there's no super talented drivers associated with Ferrari or Haas on the fringe of getting into F1 right now, so he may live to survive another year. Yet, you never know, Haas could pull something out of the bag and sign anyone. My suggestion, Dragovic. So there you go, boys and girls, that's every team and driver's situation going into silly season this year, as well as my predictions as to how I think it's going to go. I know I've been quite conservative, you know, no major changes or major shuffles in the grid, like Max to Ferrari or Hamilton to Aston Martin, but you never know. Like I said, all it takes is for one driver like Hamilton or Vettel to pull out and retire from the sport, and everything's thrown into the air, honestly. Make sure to let us know in the comment section down below what you think's going to happen this silly season. Where do you think everyone's going to go? Do you think contracts are going to be ripped up, or they're going to be stuck to nice and politely? Am I right or am I wrong in what I'm saying? Just let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, I've been Aiden, this has been Crash F1. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, you know the deal, lads, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.